Hello everyone, welcome back to SewGrannySew. We are on day 12 finally of our 12 days of Christmas with our Scrappy Ornaments. However, today we are going to jump a little bit into not so scrappy, but still scrappy if you consider fat quarters scraps, less than a fat quarter. So my daughter called me up and she just recalled that she threw away all the stockings last year because they were put in the basement, and of course that didn't go so well for her. She also threw away a Christmas tree. However, she has 5 kiddos, so we're going to make them up some stockings here quick. So I drew out a pattern, and all I did for the pattern, if you don't have a big stocking, I had a couple just cheap stockings, and I just laid it out and traced around a 1/4 inch. So we had the base of the stocking. However, if you just got one of those little ones, all you would have to do is take a ruler around the outside and mark off how big you want it away from that little one, and just put little markings all the way along as you go, and then you just connect the dots and you'll get the same kind of pattern. So just to fill you in on that. So this pattern will have 2 pieces, the base of the stocking and this, which is detachable, which will be our fur, but I am using some soft white corduroy, a really soft corduroy. And then of course we have this piece too, which is the loop that we'll put inside to hang it with. So this piece here for the top, mine is at 3.5 by 8. My place on, or my little loop, is 1.5 by 3.5 inches, and this is approximately 13 inches, 13 1/4 inches tall, and at the widest point it is about 9.5 inches wide. So all we're going to do, take that off. We are just going to lay out our fat quarters, and we want them in half. And I probably should have ironed these first. Let's get one that's not so wrinkled up. And we're going to take it this way. And we're going to put our stocking on there. I'm going to put it closer to the edge. Let's see. Actually, I want to keep that one, so I'm going to scoot this one over a little bit. Our seam allowance is on there already, so we don't got to worry about that. So we're just going to go ahead and pin that on. Then we're just going to take our scissors and we're going to cut around that. Okay, now that we have that cut out, we are going to cut 2 out of the outer shell, which would be this. We're going to cut 2 out of a liner. I just happen to have some black liner here. One of the mishaps on Facebook Marketplace, it was supposed to be black cotton. It is black cotton, but it's so thin that I am going to use this for lining. It's not much good for anything else with see-through. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 more out of that. And then, of course, 2 out of the batting. So I'll get those done and I will meet you back here. So we have the lining, the batting, and the outer shell all cut out and ready to go. So I went ahead and when I made that piece up, I marked on there to make sure you put that on the fold. So then you just lay it on a folded piece and cut around that. And then we have our loop. And then all we have left to do is this top. You can use a faux fur. You can use any white, whatever you want to do. So you could actually, I think we're better off doing it this way. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that double layered. Then I can cut out 2 at one time. And we'll just go ahead and pin that on there. I want to make sure it's going this way. So the grooves and the corduroy go up and down. Make sure we're covered up good here. just cut around that as well. All of our pieces now cut out and ready to go. So the first thing we're going to start with is I'm probably going to do this one first. And we're just going to go ahead and clean that up a little bit. We're going to loop that over and we'll go ahead and put a 1/4 inch seam just along one side on that raw edge side. So we can turn this the right way, iron it open, and that will be ready to attach when we get to that point. So we have our loop done. That's ready to go to sew on when we get that far. Next thing we're going to do is turn our outside fabric, putting right sides together. I am going to iron this flat before I go ahead and stitch. So we're going to go ahead and put that together, and we will put a layer of batting on that side, and then the other one on this side. Once we have it together, all 4 layers, go ahead and put your pins in. We're going to take a 1/4 inch seam all the way around there, and then we're going to go back over with a zigzag stitch, and then when we're done, we'll trim that right close up to that zigzag stitch so we can go ahead and turn that the right way and get the lining inserted. So I'll go ahead and get this sewn up, and I'll meet you back here. So we have all of our stitching done. I went around it with a straight stitch and then with a zigzag. So now we're just going to go right up close to that zigzag without cutting it. We're going to trim off all the excess all the way around the stocking. Once we have all that trimmed up, we're going to go ahead and we are going to turn our stocking the right way. Now, if you wanted to quilt this in, you certainly could. I've got 5 of these to make, so I'm not going to have time to be doing no quilting on them. We want to go ahead and take our bands and put them right sides together. And we are going to go ahead and stitch the end on both sides with a 1/4 inch seam. So I'll get that done and I'll meet you back here. Did forget to mention to you, when you go to stitch these ends, because you are working with a different kind of fabric, go ahead and stitch them with a zigzag stitch. It allows it to turn better. Once we have them 2 sides sewn together, we're going to go ahead and line up these seams, folding that in half. And then we'll line it up with this seam. And we want it all like that, all lined up nice and neat. We'll go ahead and put a pin in that. And I'm just going to pull that through there. Then we're going to line up that other side and do the same thing over there. Did I get that twisted somehow? There we go. So get these 2 sides lined up, these 2 seams, and line it up with this seam. And we're going to go ahead and pin that into place. Then you're just going to work it around, making sure that these edges are lined up here. And line it up with your stocking edge. And go ahead and put a pin in that. And the same on this side. I'm going to go ahead and take this loop at the same time, and we're going to hook it in to this side where the heel is at. And we're going to pin that into place to make sure when we sew, we're also sewing that. Okay, we'll bring it to the sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way along there. So I'll get that done and I'll meet you back here. Okay, we have the band on and the loop. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and put our liner inside of it. And you don't have to line it, but you do have some exposed batting in there. It's not going to hurt nothing per se, but it might wear out the batting over time. So I'm going to go ahead and put a liner in that. We can go ahead and take the edge of this, fold that under, grab that. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the sewing machine and start working this in around there. So I'll get that done and I'll meet you back here. And we did catch it all. We got the hook on. I got it all sewn in. I did take some extra stitches around there with a zigzag stitch. And we'll just trim up all the fraying pieces on there. I could not get that black in because it just frayed over and over. I do have an idea though that we will go ahead and use fleece on the inside to bat it. If this doesn't work out so well, I think it'd be fine. But fleece also would not wear at all. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a zigzag stitch around that outside edge to make sure that that seam stays downward. So I'll get that done and I will meet you back here. Okay, and there it is, guys. 1 out of 5 stockings done. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. You could dress these up. You could put names on them. You could actually do this in quilt style. So you could do little squares or little shapes or whatever. Put the backing right on it. Put the lining over top of that. And then cut out your design. You quilt it in first and then cut out your stocking. And then just sew the 2 pieces together. That would be really pretty as well. Give it a little more character with a different color fabric with a little different quilt squares and stuff. Guys, if you found this video useful, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you here at SewGrannySew. Thanks all. Have a good day. Bye.